Qatar. FIFA 2022. My name is Khaleel and I am the assistant editor at Ability Today. We are an online publication providing news and resources to the disabled community. I have come to the World Cup to cover the games from a disabled person's view and to see how accessible Qatar has made the games. Photo of Grant and I with the higher pass. An entry permit to the state of Qatar and stadium access. This includes match tickets. The journey starts. Hi everyone. First let's meet the team. My brother Mad. My mum Nareen. Abdul. Finally, yours truly, Khaleel Chima. It's the 21st of November. Heathrow and Qatar Airways. Entering Heathrow Airport. There goes our luggage. Waiting to be assisted. Transferring chairs to board plane. 6 hours flight. Finding our seats. Here we are. Adjustable aircons. What is on TV? And here we go. Take off. Excellent service. Such a beautiful view. A fancy toilet. Unfortunately, no wheelchair access. The 22nd of November, early morning, Qatar. In Qatar. A smooth landing. This is Doha Airport. Time to collect our luggage. Good to be back in my wheelchair. This is our ride. Last time when I visited Qatar in 2015, transportation was a major issue as there were only 2 wheelchair-accessible taxis. Now there are over 20. However, they need to be pre-booked in advance, which caused issues and confusion. This is where we are staying. My dear family have built a ramp for me here. However, I have bought my own portable ramps as shops and restaurants will have steps to get in. FIFA opening ceremony. Qatar is the first country in the Middle East to host the FIFA World Cup. I haven't been to any past tournaments. However, in my opinion Qatar did it in a whole new style. Unfortunately, the opening ceremony wasn't televised in UK. During the event, Qatar showed their culture and values. This young, famous, Qatari YouTuber called Ghanem Al-Muftar is interacting with Morgan Freeman, while part of the Holy Quran was being recited, mentioning acceptance of difference within people, peacefully and respecting everyone. Ghanem Al-Muftar has caudal regression syndrome and is a wheelchair user. An ambassador for the 2022 FIFA World Cup. Who is a true inspiration to all of us with special needs and to quote Ability Today. Shows what we can do, and not what we can't. Qatari music played while mascots of previous FIFA World Cup hosts came to participate in the event, followed by flags from each country. A clip was shown of the former Emir, Qatari ruler, Sheikh Hamad bin Khalifa Al Thani, playing football with his friends when a child. His son and the current Emir, Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, gave a speech before the end of the ceremony.
Welcome and good luck to all.
The Thani family have ruled Qatar for a few centuries, with Jassim bin Mohammed Al Thani being the founder of the state of Qatar, in the 1800s. The 22nd of November. Metro. Metro to Mall of Qatar. Metro is a 10-minute walk from where I am staying. The station nearest to us is called Al-Shaqab. There are 37 stations which include Al-Maysilah, the White Palace and Lusail. The Al Shaqab station is located on Huwa Street in Old Al Rayyan, but is near the border with the district called Al Shaqab. Here we are. The Al Shaqab station looks cool. Going to the mall. These are driverless trains. This is the metro line and the different stations. This mall has excellent wheelchair access. Very smooth, clean ramps. The 24th of November, match day, Portugal vs Ghana. We have arrived by taxi at Stadium 974 to watch Portugal vs Ghana. Nice smooth ramp to exit. The pavements are very high, so having issues getting on and off them. Hence going on the road. The stadium is absolutely marvelous. This is called Stadium 974. Located in Doha, Qatar. Opened the 30th of November 2021, it is a temporary venue made from 974 recycled shipping containers, after which it will be dismantled. It is the first temporary venue in FIFA World Cup history. 974 is also the extension mobile code for people in Qatar. We've taken a cart to the seating area. Here is the lift. Leaving cart. This lift is good. Handsome reporter. Unfortunately, I will be sitting separate from my family. Here we are. Such a beautiful view. A wheelchair area. This is a tight game so far. Half time, let's check the disabled toilets. Easy to find and nicely labeled. A slide door. Mirror above the sink which has a mixer tap. Big toilet beside an easy pull emergency switch. Back to the game. A penalty? Okay, Cristiano Ronaldo, time to do your thing. He scores. And Ghana equalizes. Good job to Andre Ayew. Portugal leads again. Nice goal. Portugal wins 3-2, but Ghana can hold their heads up high. They played a great game. 42,662 people attended the match. The 26th of November, FIFA Fan Festival. We are now out to watch Argentina vs Mexico, on a big outdoor television. FIFA Fan Festival. Cool drones displaying two footballers to get control of the ball. Couldn't go through the main entrance, so people carried me in my chair over the steps.
Get it on camera.
They're gonna bring in this side now. Look at his face.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm dazed. Got the best view as everyone was considerate and gave way to me. Messi has scored. Me copying the Arab sculpture behind me. The resemblance is uncanny. The 29th of November, Lusail. This city is called Lusail. We took the only tram in the world which goes underground. These are Qatar Towers, also known as Crescent Tower Lusail and Qatar Hospitality Tower. The buildings operate as a 5-star and 6-star hotel which was opened at the same time as the 2022 FIFA World Cup. The president of FIFA stays here during the tournament. This is Lusail Stadium, the biggest stadium in Qatar, with the capacity of 88,966. After the World Cup, it will be used as a community space of schools, shops, cafes, sporting facilities and health clinics. It hosts the final and the closing ceremony. I'm tempted to drive through there. Interview with Maddie.
How was the disability access of the country before and after the preparations took place for the World Cup?
I think even before the World Cup, Qatar realized that they really needed to focus on disability because there are a lot of people that are disabled in the country. As someone who's lived here my whole entire life, I have seen that disability access has been, a lot more awareness has been given. And whenever anything new has come up in Qatar, the disability awareness is definitely there. There's a lot more ramps, there's a lot more lifts, there's a lot more priority lanes, priority parking for disabilities and for disabled people. So I think, and especially during the World Cup, they have given a lot more focus on to ensure that disabled people have more access and have a better access to ensure that they enjoy the World Cup a lot more.
Was it hard to organize?
It definitely had its own challenges, I'm not going to lie. It's not easy. We had to deliver around 130,000 signage that range from like little custom stickers all the way to large backdrop. So, it did definitely come up with its own challenges, but it was a lot of fun and, I'm really glad that we were able to deliver on time.
How has it affected your lifestyle and work?
So, as you know, the event sector itself is quite intense and is very stressful. This is definitely my first time doing an event at such a large scale. But working with people who have already experienced and who've worked in previous World Cups, they basically said that this is exactly the same, it's very similar. It does become more intense as you progress towards the World Cup. There are times when obviously I need to work longer hours, but that's just normal in any events around the world, whether it's the World Cup, whether it's the Olympics. But it's definitely worth the experience as a local who joined the World Cup to deliver.
From your point of view, has the World Cup boosted people with special needs to come out and about more?
I think so. I haven't gone to many international events myself, so I can't say much. However, I have gone to a lot of the games and I have seen many people who are disabled being present at the World Cup. I didn't see any difficulties. I saw that they were well looked after. There were volunteers, there were supporters that were helping them out, and there was dedicated spaces for disabled people to basically sit and watch. I know in this World Cup we also have sensory rooms that allows people who are quite sensitive to sounds to be able to come and enjoy the World Cup without having the noise level impacted. I know that is new here, and so I do think there's been a huge improvement. And again, the focus on disabled people has definitely been given thought.
What is the future of Qatar and its facilities?
I think Qatar has a very prominent future. I think it has a very attractive future. I think the investment that Qatar has made into its facilities will really attract a lot of different sporting events to Qatar. I think the World Cup has shown that Qatar is capable of hosting such large events, and they've done a really good job in organizing and making sure that these events are held at a very respectable manner, whether it's crowd control or making sure that the fans are well looked after. I think Qatar's strategy has always been to be the center for the MENA region, to be the sports capital, and I think it is on its way, and I think it holds a lot more potential, and I do see a lot more sports happening in Qatar. We won the Asian Football Cup that's going to be happening next year, so definitely there's huge potential for sports.
Do you think awareness of people with special needs has increased in Qatar due to these events?
Yes, definitely, and not just to do events. I think over the past few years, Qatar has been making an effort to ensure that people with special needs have full access to all the facilities, whether it's sporting events, entertainment events, and even in their everyday life when it comes to like universities, when it comes to buildings. I think the special needs access has become a lot better, a lot more easier.
After seeing this, do you think Qatar can host the Olympics and Paralympics?
For sure, yes. I do think so. I think Qatar is ready, and I think it does have the necessary facilities and the infrastructure. We'll just have to wait and see like when they do win the bid.
Do you have any further comments or questions for me?
Yes, you went to one of the matches. How did you find it?
Fantastic and fun.
Awesome.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you for your time.
The 30th of November. Paratriking. Time to try paratriking. This is using a flying trike to roam the sky, with 1 or 2 seats. Supported by a large paraglider, it uses a motor which is attached to a propeller. Qatar, Doha is ideal for it. This looks cool and maybe a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So, let's do this. Getting equipped. Setting the trike's cords. Both GoPros recording. One towards the front, while the other is facing me. Ready to fly. Up we go. My face says it all. Picture time. Lovely scenery. People do look like ants from up here. Smile for the selfies. This is fun. Having a whole new spin of the world from up here. Time to go down before it gets dark. The eagle has landed.
Yes.
What a great experience. The 1st of December. Qatar National Library and Information. This is Qatar National Library.
That's a book return station.
Easy for wheelchair users such as myself. The architecture of this library looks cool.
They have 8 stadiums. This is Khalifa International Stadium. So all FIFA matches are in those 8 stadiums.
A vast amount of space for me to move around in my chair. A bit of background and history about Qatar. Qatar's area is 11,571 square kilometers, a country in the Middle East bordering Saudi Arabia. The population was 2.931 million in 2021. Back in 2010, the population with disabilities was over 7,600. It is a small but fast-growing country. In terms of income, it has the 4th highest GDP per capita in the world. Compared to the rest, Qatar is one of the new members of the international community due to gaining independence in 1971. Thanks to the gas and oil resources, they have had the opportunity to gather wealth. They have invested mainly in their infrastructures and education. So, becoming one of the fastest growing economies in the world. It's a country that lives between tradition and modernity. They are trying to keep true to their identity of Arabs and Muslim, while growing economically. They have a vision for 2030 to achieve different goals, including becoming a knowledge-based country. That's why they are investing a lot in education and sports. Hence the reason to host the FIFA World Cup, to get involved internationally and be a part of it. They are trying to transform into a global player by investing in other things too, such as fashion. Qatar comes from a number of tribes. This includes the Bedouin tribe who come from the desert. Others come from the sea. It makes sense as Qatar is a desert area surrounded by the sea. In the early 20th century, seamen used to dive to find pearls, which started the productivity of Qatar to flourish. Interview with Khaleel.
Here with Khaleel. Are you a resident of Qatar or a traveller?
I'm a resident.
Do you have a disability or illness?
No, I don't have a disability or any impairments.
When did you decide to watch this match, and was it hard to book tickets?
Decided to watch the matches since the World Cup was announced.
How many matches do you think tickets for?
6.
How have you travelled to the matches?
So the first one by bus, second one by car.
How was the disabled access of it?
I didn't use the disabled access myself, but it seems like it's quite well organized so far.
Was it hard to organise?
The tickets? It was actually, because there's a lot of demand. So you didn't always get the tickets that you applied for. And in some cases you had to apply multiple times. So the tickets were sold in rounds, and I got my tickets in the 3rd and final round. But now, of course, they have a resale platform where people who are still looking for tickets can buy them. But then again, it's not very easy because a lot of the tickets are already sold out.
How have you found the development and preparation for hosting the World Cup? Has it boosted awareness for people with disabilities? Has it improved the accessibility for everyone?
Development's been ongoing. They've done obviously a lot of work on infrastructure and building the stadiums. If you travel around, you can see that they're still building certain areas and parts of the city, but they've built enough to let people access the stadiums. The disability access is much better than I expected. The public transportation, not so much the buses, but the metro stations here and the trams are all wheelchair accessible, which is good. The stadiums seem to be well organized in terms of accessibility, but of course there are some hurdles, I guess, for people with disabilities. Probably pavements, the biggest challenge. And of course I haven't seen any buses which are friendly for those who need special access. So yeah, I think they could have improved in certain areas, but overall it seems to be well organized.
How have you found the whole experience so far?
Pretty good. No complaints so far. It's been well organized.
Do you think awareness of people with special needs has increased in Qatar due to these events?
I don't think so. I think there's still challenges, as we've seen that private vehicles such as taxis are limited in numbers. So of course availability of taxis with ramps that can accommodate wheelchair users or those with special needs is very limited. So yeah, I don't think it's actually done any difference in that sense. There's still a lot of challenges.
After seeing this, do you think Qatar can host the Olympics and Paralympics?
Paralympics, probably not. The stadiums are an exception because they're probably developed through certain requirements and specifications that are probably stipulated by FIFA. If you look at the rest of the country, it's still not wheelchair friendly. Point being the limited availability of wheelchair accessible taxis. Even though the metro stations are very wheelchair accessible friendly, urban infrastructure is not. There's a lot of pavements with no ramp access, etc. Even places like shopping malls and stuff, they don't have many ramp access or as such wheelchair accessible. But yeah, of course they can probably very easily host the Olympics, but not the Paralympics, and then that needs a lot more development and education in terms of awareness.
Thanks for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
The 3rd of December. Flying home and evaluation. Qatar is the first country in the Middle East to host the FIFA World Cup. I haven't been to any past tournaments. However, in my opinion, Qatar did it in a whole new style. Qatar made the opening ceremony special by presenting diversity, fairness, respect and the history of football. I was really impressed. We are at the airport. Going to departures. This was my 3rd visit to the country and it was amazing. Unlike the past, the wheelchair access was brilliant everywhere, which did Qatar justice. Once we landed at Hamad International Airport, the staff went out of their way to cater for my needs. From getting me into my chair to the ride home. I attended the match Portugal vs Ghana at Stadium 974, which had superb wheelchair access. Unfortunately, as mentioned previously, I sat apart from my family, when there were 2 empty seats near me, but the match had already started. This was the only thing which upset me. Being a Muslim country, alcohol was banned, which led to no one being punished while drunk and committing crime. A first in FIFA history. However, not everything was good. According to The Guardian, link in the description. Since Qatar was successful in winning the 2022 tournament bid back on 2nd of December 2010, over 6,500 South Asian migrant workers have died while preparing for the games. These numbers are unconfirmed though. Overall, I feel that Qatar have done a great job hosting the FIFA 2022 World Cup. Despite the fact that there were no hoists available, the disabled access was fantastic. With help I was able to go and see everything that I wanted to do. I really did have an amazing time. And here we are, back home. Interviewees: Jaleel, Maddie. Fantastic hospitality thanks to Jaleel, Unnum, Samara, Uncle Wahid, Auntie Roxana. Filmed by Khaleel Chima, my mum Nareen, Ahmad, Unnum. Edited by Khaleel Chima, Grant Logan. Produced by Khaleel Chima, Grant Logan. Directed by Khaleel Chima, Grant Logan, my mum Nareen, Unnum. Dedicated to Pupni Chacha's Captain K, Pupni Chacha's Princess A.